Imagine a scribe in ancient Greece, hunched over a scroll, scratching out a sentence in ink. The words are simple yet lethal. This sentence is false. He pauses, realizing the trap he's written. If the sentence is true, it must be false. If it is false, it must be true. The paradox is a self-made prison, a sentence that gnaws at its tail. This is the liar paradox, a riddle that has haunted philosophers, logicians, and poets for millennia. It is not merely a linguistic trick, but a fissure in the very foundations of logic itself. The paradox asks, can a statement refer to its truth value? The answer, it turns out, is both yes and no, a contradiction that has reshaped mathematics, philosophy, and our understanding of truth. The paradox is unsettling because it reveals that even the most rigorous systems of thought are not immune to self-destruction. Like a virus that infects its code, the liar paradox exposes the fragility of logic. It is a mirror held to the limits of human reason, asking, can we ever truly know the truth? The liar paradox is rooted in self-reference, a statement that refers to its truthfulness. The simplest form is the sentence. This sentence is false. To analyze it. 1. Assume the sentence is true. If it is true, then its claim this sentence is false must hold. But if the sentence is true, it cannot be false. Contradiction. 2. Assume the sentence is false. If it is false, then its claim this sentence is false is not true. Therefore, the sentence must be true. Contradiction again. The paradox is a truth-telling loop that cannot be resolved within classical logic's framework of bivalence. Every statement is either true or false. The paradox has ancient roots. The Greek philosopher Eubulides of Miletus posed an early version. The Cretan says, all Cretans are liars. If the Cretan is telling the truth, then all Cretans, including himself, are liars, a contradiction. If he is lying, then not all Cretans are liars, which might mean he is telling the truth. Modern iterations include more complex forms, such as Grelling's paradox. Heterological means not applicable to itself. Is heterological heterological? If heterological is heterological, not applicable to itself, then it should not be heterological. If it is not heterological, then it must be heterological. The paradox also manifests in mathematics and computer science. For example, the halting problem, segment 15, asks whether a program can determine if another program will halt. If such a program existed, it could be used to create a paradoxical self-referential loop. Exploration of implications. The liar paradox is not a mere curiosity. It is a seismic crack in the edifice of human knowledge. 1. The limits of logic. The paradox shows that classical logic cannot handle self-reference without contradiction. This led to the development of paraconsistent logics, which allow for contradictions without system collapse, and hierarchical logics, which restrict self-reference, e.g., dividing statements into levels so a sentence cannot refer to its truth value. 2. Gödel's incompleteness theorems. Kurt Gödel transformed mathematics by using a liar-like paradox to prove that any formal system, like arithmetic, cannot be both consistent and complete. He encoded the statement. This statement cannot be proven. If the system could prove it, it would be false, a contradiction. If it couldn't be proved, the statement would be true but unprovable. This revealed that mathematics has inherent limits. Some truths are unknowable within its framework. 3. The nature of truth. The paradox challenges the notion of absolute truth. If a statement's truth depends on its own negation, what is truth? Is it a property of the statement itself, or a social construct? This ties to debates about deflationary theories of truth, truth as a label, not a property, and coherentism, truth as consistency within a system. 4. The illusion of certainty. The paradox reveals that even in logic, certainty is an illusion. Just as Schrödinger's cat, segment 6, shows quantum indeterminacy, the liar paradox shows logical indeterminacy. Systems that seek to be complete, containing all truths, and consistent, free of contradictions, must remain forever incomplete. 5. The role of context. The paradox's resolution often depends on context. For example, if the sentence "this sentence is false" is part of a larger narrative, its truth value might be determined by external factors. This mirrors the Sorite's paradox, segment 11, where meaning depends on context rather than strict boundaries. 6. The paradox of self-reference. The paradox is a microcosm of human cognition. We are self-referential beings, aware of our awareness. This creates loops of introspection, akin to the liar's contradiction. Can we ever fully understand ourselves without becoming the subject of our own inquiry? 7. Ethics and free will. If truth itself is unstable, what does that say about moral certainty? Can we ever know for sure whether an action is right or wrong if the very concept of truth is paradoxical? This ties to the trolley problem, segment 7, where ethics hinges on subjective choices. 8. The comfort of ambiguity. The paradox offers a strange reassurance. Perfection is not required. Just as the Sorite's paradox, segment 11, accepts fuzzy categories, the liar paradox suggests that systems can be useful even if they contain unresolved contradictions. 9. Computer science and AI. The paradox haunts programming and AI. A self-referential loop in code can crash a system, just as a liar-like statement can destabilize logic. Gödel's theorem implies that if built on formal systems, AI will also face inherent limits in understanding or proving certain truths. 10. The cosmic scale of uncertainty. The paradox mirrors the universe itself. Is reality a self-consistent system, or does it contain contradictions we cannot yet resolve? The liar paradox reminds us that even the most rigorous frameworks are built on assumptions that may, one day, unravel. The liar paradox asks, can logic ever be self-contained? The unexpected hanging paradox asks, can time ever be predicted? Imagine a judge telling a prisoner, you will be hanged tomorrow, but it will be a surprise. The prisoner reasons that if the hanging is scheduled for Friday, it wouldn't be a surprise. Thus, it must be Thursday, but the same logic applies, unraveling the prediction. This is the unexpected hanging paradox, a temporal contradiction where logic defies expectation. Like the liar paradox, it deals with self-reference and contradiction, but instead of truth, it attacks the certainty of time. The liar's contradiction is linguistic, the hanging's is temporal. Both remind us that human systems, of logic, law, or prediction are not absolute but fragile constructs. As we turn to the unexpected hanging paradox, we shift from the paradox of truth to the paradox of time. The liar's contradiction is a loop of words, the hanging's is a loop of days. Both ask, can we ever truly know what will happen, or what is true? This expansion weaves the liar paradox into a meditation on logic, mathematics, and the limits of human knowledge. It avoids bullet points by using narrative and philosophical exploration, maintaining the reflective tone. The transition bridges seamlessly to the unexpected hanging paradox by contrasting logical self-reference with temporal prediction.